Hey, Tiger fans, it's Mark Fitzpatrick with Tiger Club of Kansas City. It is Tuesday, November 14th. Very special guest today at the Westport Flea Market. Mizzou All-American tight end, member of the Mizzou Hall of Fame, Chase Coffman. Chase, thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. Whether I get asked to speak or just come attend, I know we got a lot of good people to support and speak. So it's an awesome community, awesome family.
I want to talk a little about your time at Mizzou, but your impressions of this Tiger team now after a huge victory last weekend.
Man, I know that we've kind of taken our licks over the last couple of years, and since Drinkwitz has come on board, but it's awesome to see them, taking those next steps and winning the games that were close. And this last week wasn't close, but even taking it to the next level like that. So I'm really excited for them as a group and the guys that, even Coach Drinkwitz in his press conference talked about today that have fought through it and joined on with the transfer portal stuff.
Yeah. Talk about your days at Mizzou. You played on two of the greatest teams in Mizzou history, especially that 07 team that was in the top 5 in the nation. What's your fondest memory of those days?
I'll go back to the people, the players, the locker room, not necessarily the games, but kind of everything that you go through, the process that you go through to get to number 1 in the nation. We ended up number 4 in the nation. Had some really good memories and great friendships that'll be lifelong from that. And I would say those are the bigger lasting things, and we can look on some great games too.
Well, what I want to talk, we talked about today, that game at Arrowhead in 07 against KU, which those of us who attended were greatest atmosphere maybe ever at a sporting event. What are your memories of that game?
As far as a game, I remember it just being the atmosphere of all sports atmospheres. I've been to a Super Bowl as a fan, been in playoff games, been in all kinds of rivalry games, and that's topped them all as far as an environment. And then just to come out as the winner of that game and for what it meant at that time was huge. And again, back to the guys that you got to do it with and remember it with, or those will last forever.
That's great. I want to ask you about. Obviously, things have changed a lot since you played. What are your thoughts on NIL and the transfer portal today?
I think we're still figuring out what it needs to be and how to do it well and efficiently. I think that we've taken steps in the right direction in allowing players to get paid for their name, image, and likeness. And, in certain situations, even to transfer, because, as a young man, to pick the right fit for yourself. And then even, maybe it's the right fit and the coach leaves. You never know what those situations are going to be like, or family situations back home. So I think we're taking steps in the right direction, but it's not as tightened up, buttoned up as it probably will be and should be.
No, it's a lot different than when you played.
Yeah. People ask what if, and I don't even go there.
Wrap up. I want you to tell me about what you're doing now. You played 6 years in the NFL, and tell us about your life since then.
Yeah, so since then and towards the end of my NFL career, as I was getting cut more and more, I wanted to manage my own finances. So found out a lot about that, did a lot of just research and reading on my own, and joined a group here in town, BMG Financial Advisors. So doing financial advising, financial planning, selling life insurance, and just helping people be wise stewards of their own finances. So doing that now, it's been kind of a long, tough road, and seeing fruit of my labor over the last handful of years. So it's encouraging, and the people that we're able to help is a lasting thing for generations.
And you and your wife, who was a Golden Girl Mizzou, have 3 children in the Kansas City area. That's great.
3 kids, back to our roots in Puryear, Missouri, close to family, and always be close to this Mizzou family.
All right. He was a great player. He's an even better guy, Chase Coffman. Thanks so much for coming out today. Hey, next week, Kevin Puryear, former Mizzou basketball star, will be here to talk about the Tiger basketball team. And he's also done some analyst work for the SEC Network. So come and join us at the Westport Flea Market. We'll also, next week, we will have our annual collection for harvesters at the flea market. So if you can join us and contribute, we'd really appreciate it. For information on membership and our upcoming speakers, go to kctigerclub.com.